All right, part 4. I'm pretty excited for this one because you're gonna get 2 of my hottest takes probably in this episode. One of them will be coming up very soon, but let's get started with, we ended with Hello Neighbor. I added 1 game since last episode, Animaniacs: The Great Edgar Hunt. I had it as a kid, and dude, I'm so pissed off because this game now is worth like $150, and I sold it as a kid for probably $5. So never living that down. But getting started with Helltaker. So Helltaker, I played this maybe an hour, probably not even that. It's a puzzle game. Like, let's see. Let's pull up some gameplay. Helltaker. It's a simple puzzle game. This you beat it in 20 minutes. This game, it's fine, but I didn't play hardly enough of it, so I don't know. I can't say much about it. Hi-Fi Rush. I mean, I got pretty far in this. I didn't beat it. I think I finished the 4th chapter, the 4th act, but this game's pretty overhyped, I believe. Now, I do think the art direction, the world is really, really good. I think the sound design is awesome. But dude, the combat, I don't know. I couldn't really get into the combat. Because I played Devil May Cry, I've played Bayonetta, I really like hack and slash games, but being limited by having to stick to a beat, I don't know. Like, I prefer the other way where you have more freedom. Now, there is a added gameplay element in sticking to the beat, obviously. It makes it more challenging, but does it make it more fun? I don't think so. So, 7 out of 10, still a fine game, but nothing impressive. Okay, the Hitmans. I put Hitman 3. I've played 1 and 2, but if you buy Hitman 3, I believe you get 1 and 2 included. What is Blood Money Reprised? A reprisal, a new version. Okay, like an ad or something, or a mod. But I like the Hitmans, I really do. I haven't played too much of the first one. Played a decent amount of 2 and 3, probably halfway through both of them, and I really enjoyed it. If I had beaten them and like put some more time into them, maybe up to a 4.5, but not a 5. But a really, really fun game. And again, I think the thing I like about the new ones is there's tons of challenges that kind of urge you to keep on playing, to keep on trying to figure out how to kill a target a different way or dispatch them. I really, really like that. If you give it a 5 or a 4.5, I'm okay with that. I'm surprised it's this high, but really, really good game. So Absolution, this is my first Hitman game. I played it on 360. Dude, I remember really liking this. And a 3.2 is fine also on like an average rating. People will shit on this game. And sure, it's not your traditional Hitman game, but it's still a really fun third-person action stealth game. So yeah, it's a lot more linear than the other Hitmans, I know, but I did beat this when I was like 13 or 14, and yeah, it's still really fun. Blood Money is so awesome. Just the freedom you have in every mission, and freedom to an extent, but it really is like a puzzle game almost. Hitman Blood Money. How can you dispatch your target? This game was not the first. Like, you certainly have things like Deus Ex, doing whole like immersive sim elements, tackle the objective how you want to, but this one does it so well. Fantastic game. I think I beat it, when did I play this? 2016 maybe, but it was shortly after playing Absolution because I really liked Absolution. But yeah, fantastic Hitman game, my favorite. Although I do need to go back and give the other Hitmans a try. They maybe be have a, how would I say, I would think of them more favorably if I gave them that to try, I think. Okay, first big hot take, Hollow Knight. Dude, I cannot. I've tried playing this game 3 separate times. I've reset the game 3 separate times and tried to enjoy it, and I can't. People will gloat about the art style and how good the game looks. I admit it has a distinct look, but it was boring. I mean, and I didn't get farther than like 4 hours on either of those attempts. And it's not for, I didn't finish it because it was difficult. It's not a difficult game. People will try to tell you it's difficult because there's hard challenge modes and really tough achievements, but the actual game itself is not hard. But man, now a 1.5 may be a little, it's not as bad as Devil May Cry 2. So maybe like a 2 or a 2.5. 1.5 may have been a little harsh, but dude, I just do not enjoy Hollow Knight. But keep this in mind, I don't like Metroidvanias in general. There is one that I love, like a top 50 game all time, and we'll get to that a couple episodes. But yeah, it just didn't mesh with me. I could not enjoy. Again, I tried 3 separate occasions to like this game, and for some reason people love it. I don't know why. Horizon. So the first one, I played a lot of it, and then I put it down, and then I came back and beat it. A 3, it's close to a 3.5, but I'm gonna keep it at a 3, just because, I don't know, sure, shooting certain parts of certain mechs is really cool, and you have to target certain parts with different arrows, and that's pretty fun, but the whole like trap mechanic and acting like you're a hunter did not work well in this game. They show you it in the tutorial with the bow, where you shoot one at the ground and you shoot another, and it creates a tripwire between the two. It's like it gives the enemy electrocution, but I thought it was lame. I didn't really vibe with it, but I did beat it, so sure, I did beat it, and even though I took a huge break in between the two, but it's close. It's close. No, I'm gonna keep it at a 3. Now, Forbidden West, played it for 6 hours, dropped off. Once you played the first one, my issue with this one, I'm surprised it's higher. My biggest issue was that they gave you way too much stuff straight off rip. They didn't give you time to adjust to any of the bow types. Like, I felt like I had so much stuff given to me at once. I just used, and the basic bow works perfectly fine. I didn't enjoy the exploration. Sure, the game looks good. Sure. The story, I couldn't tell you anything about the story in both of them. Aloy is pretty mid, but yeah, I did not get super far, again, like 4 or 5 hours. And I have the special edition on PS5. Like, it's a really cool special edition. It looks really cool, but yeah, it's just not for me. Hotline Miami 1 and 2, I just played these. We'll start with 1. 1 is super fun, super simple game. Of course, top down. Difficult is not how I would put it. It really is just trial and error, and then it comes down to execution. I wouldn't call it difficult, but when this game clicks, it really does feel like you're kind of in the next state. But awesome music. These 2 games have some of the best soundtracks in gaming, in my opinion. I should have put those on, but Hotline Miami 2, I think it was a big step down, and to me it came down to the levels primarily. I don't think the levels felt nearly as good. The new ranking system felt weird. You had to carry over a multiplier from previous rooms, so every single mission I got like a C rank. And they tried to tell a deeper story. The final boss kind of sucks, but I mean, it's still Hotline Miami 2. It's still fun, but I was really trying to get through this pretty quick. Okay, Hulk on PS2 specifically. This is a childhood game. I kind of want to play it again because I can see images of it in my head right now. But there are some parts where you play as Hulk, and those parts are pretty fun. But there's also parts where you play as Bruce Banner, and it turns into a stealth game. And the Red Hulk is this. I remember that being really cool, seeing Red Hulk. I don't know if Red Hulk's in the original movie. I haven't seen the original movie. I think it's Ang Lee who makes it, whatever. But I remember loving it as a kid. But this is definitely a childhood ranking, so I would need to play it again. Human Fall Flat. Played a lot of the levels with my friends. Really fun game. Awesome co-op game. Yeah, that's about all I have to say about it. Yeah, no more to say. Hypnospace Outlaw. So I will definitely put on some gameplay for this. This one's a little more under the radar. But what you're trying to do, what the aim of the game is you're trying to reconstruct the internet. And you have to like go into the Wayback Machine and find old. Oh no, that's like the final achievement, is reconstructing the whole internet. This is, you just get simple requests and you have to go to certain websites and find stuff. And every website's different, has its own little quirk. Really cool game. It's so zany. It's kind of out there. It's a really cool concept. I got all the achievements, and final achievement is a real grind. So it just goes to show how enjoyable I thought this game was. But yeah, really cool game, really cool concept. That's pretty skewed right. Oh, you love to see it. I Am Your Beast. Played this recently. This is a short game and I didn't beat it. I don't know, dude. Like, sure the gameplay and the shooting's fun. I just don't know if I like the whole, this is an open arena, try to get through it as quick as possible. It's a fine concept, but I don't know. I can't really explain very well why I think this is a 6. If you ask me, no, I wouldn't put it as a 7. Maybe objectively, like from a gameplay design and music and how everything feels, sure, maybe a 3.5, but I didn't finish it, dude. I can't give it a 7 if I didn't finish it. And it's a short game. I got off it pretty quick, so keep it at a 3. Immortality. I played this probably close to launch. It's been a while since, I think this was a Game Pass game, I'm pretty sure. The point of Immortality is it's a mystery game, and you go through film clips, and hidden in each film clip is like a Easter egg, and that Easter egg unlocks more film clips. It's a really cool like concept for a game, but I didn't finish it. I got kind of bored. Like, I don't know how long I played this for. It could have been 2 hours, it could have been 6, but I didn't beat it. But cool concept though. I appreciate what they tried to do. Maybe I'll go back and try it. Immortals Phoenix Rising. This is Breath of the Wild by Ubisoft. It's quite literally verbatim. They just copied everything from Breath of the Wild and made it their own. Played it on PS5. It's okay. It's if I gave this a 3.5, no, I gotta give this a 3. Maybe that's spoiling what my hottest take is, but yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's open world, not too much. The combat was fine. So again, not much to say about it. 3 out of 5. The Incredibles. Okay, this is a childhood game, but out of all the childhood games I've mentioned so far, there's only 2 that I think if I went back and played today, it would keep this score. This is one of them. I remember this game being awesome. This is a really cool movie tie-in game. You get to play as all the different members of the family. Dash's levels in particular are really cool. The Incredibles game. Yeah, the combat like probably sucks. I'm thinking back on it. I remember this boss fight, 3 hours. Dude, it took me and look, he's fat now because that's how it is. I remember all this, dude. Why is it only, yeah, her levels are really cool. But no, dude, Dash had super sick levels. Yeah, dude, look at this. This shit's fun. But yeah, childhood game, played it a lot as a kid. I think I still would like it. Maybe not a 4, maybe a 3.5, but Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, currently playing this. I'm on Act 3. This game is so sick. This is probably the biggest surprise of 2024 for me, because I heard rumblings when it came out, and it's on Game Pass. That's how I'm playing it. You know, I heard rumblings that it's kind of like an immersive sim game. It's kind of trying to do what the old Deus Ex did. It's not quite like that. Sure, there are multiple ways to get to your objective, but there's not a lot of ways on how to complete the objective. At least in the first 2 acts, which I think are probably like 40% of the game, the first 2 acts. Because again, I think I've played this probably 12 hours plus. Super, super cool. It feels like a movie, sure. It feels like you're watching a movie a lot of the time, but it's a really good movie. It's shot incredibly well. The voice acting's incredible. The main villain is really cool. So I'm excited to keep playing this. It's sitting at a 4.5 now because I really am enjoying it. Once I beat it, who knows where it'll fall. I don't think it'll get a 5. I think 4.5 is kind of its ceiling, but we'll see. Awesome game. Okay, the Infamous series. Infamous 1 was one of the first games I played on PlayStation 3, and I fell in love with it. I hate saying this word, but the vibe this game gives off, super gloomy, super dark. The art style is really cool, especially in the cutscenes. I loved those cutscenes in Infamous, but I love the parkour elements. In fact, you can climb almost anything. If you have cool parkour in a game, and I was between the age of 12 and 20, you had me. And even today, I mean, 12 to 25, let's say that. Yeah, Infamous, super, super awesome game. And Infamous 2, I think, is slightly better, because I don't think New Orleans is nearly as interesting as, or New Marias, sorry, is nearly as interesting as Infamous 1's setting, but the gameplay is a lot better in Infamous 2. People shit on its ending a lot. I know it depends on whether you're good or bad, whether you fight the beast or whether he fights with you. I couldn't remember the ending. I have no idea. I recently played Infamous Second Son to get the platinum because I'd beaten it close to launch on my brother's PS4 because he got a PS4 at launch. And I got an Xbox One like a year later. But I thought it was really cool at the time. Again, at the time, I would have given it like 4. I thought it was super interesting, super cool. I played it again on hard mode, and I was doing the evil side to get the evil related trophies to get the platinum. That's all I needed. Dude, this game kind of sucks. And it may just be because it's only hard mode that had this, but why do you run out of ammo for your basic shot? You like in the other Infamous games, you could just mash R1, your basic shot, and you'll never run out. In this game, you do. So half your time in this game is spent recharging. And that just wasn't fun at all. The parkour is fine enough. The bosses were pretty cool. You know, like a 3. Sure, I'd give it a 3. But again, the gameplay was so bad, I thought. The neon stuff was cool. Again, like all the powers themselves were cool. But I don't know, it really irked me having to recharge as much as I did. Even if you didn't have to recharge, this game's no higher than like a 4 or a 4.5. Like it's fine, it's fine. So that's the Infamous. I've not played Last Light or First Light, or Festival of Blood, the vampire DLC. Injustice 1 and 2, didn't play nearly as much of 1 as I did 2. But I remember really liking Injustice. Didn't tell you much beyond that. I played it, I think I got it on launch on 360. Played it a decent amount, don't remember much of it. But Injustice 2, I do remember a lot. I really liked this game. And this, I played this in college, 2019, a lot. I remember I got max level for all the characters because the max level was 20. And the way I did it is that you still get experience for the characters in CPU battles. You just pick a character, make it a bot, and then battle another bot, and you get the experience for your bot. That's how I did. I would just let these games run while I was doing something else, and I got max level. But I loved the gear system. I thought it was really, really cool. I think Mortal Kombat, which Mortal Kombat was it? 11? Yeah, 11. I thought it did it better, the whole gear system. But no, really like this game. Solid fighting game just in general. And I didn't take this game too seriously. I didn't play online or anything. But I thought the campaign was really fun. And yeah. Inscription. I got to the second act of this game. And I'm not going to spoil anything because it is a really cool concept of a game. But I got halfway through the second act when it switches. And I kind of fell off. I don't remember why. But I love this game's first act. It was so sick. It's a great card game. Super awesome atmosphere. And the second half, I haven't beaten it. I think I got about halfway through it. I may go back and beat this. I think, yeah, I have it shelved. I need to beat it, but 4.5. Yay. Easy 4.5. Not quite. I can't give it a 5 because I haven't beaten it. I haven't beaten Baldur's Gate 3 yet, but I can't give it a perspective. 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5. Inside. This game's fine. I didn't beat it. I watched someone else beat it because I think I got bored or something. People try to say this game's like super deep. If you want to say that, sure, but it's not really that deep. The puzzles are fine. I remember them being okay. The gameplay itself is fine, but yeah, just fine. You know, 7, between a 6 and a 7 is about where I'd put it. Into the Breach, awesome puzzle game. I shouldn't say puzzle game. It's a TRPG, but it is almost puzzle-like because these battles are really short. Most of them are really short. I remember I think I beat this, or I got really far on like my first run, and then I watched a lot of YouTube videos about it and what like people doing challenge runs and all that. Really cool puzzle game. How did they? Yeah, they identified it as puzzle. Awesome game. Definitely check it out. It's dirt cheap. I'll probably be playing this during my MBA class. Oh, dude, Into the Radius. So Into the Radius is a VR game, and it's Stalker in VR. Stalker 2 just came out. That's what I'm referring to as the Stalker series, and we'll get to Stalker eventually. But yeah, this game is super cool. It's probably the top 5 VR game for me. Just going into this big zone, and there is loot out there, stuff you need, but there's also anomalies, there's weird creatures out there, there's tons of enemies. And dude, at night, this game turns into a horror game if you for some reason decide to go out at night. But I like the fact that you can see enemies miles away, and you can just lay down and really act like you're sniping them and steady your aim. Really cool game. Love this game. The reason it's not a 5-star is because I don't think there's enough there. If it had a little more content, now there is a second one being made, and it's in early access. I haven't played it yet, but man, if it builds on what this game did, then the second one would definitely be a 5 out of 5. I just don't think it has enough content to justify a 5, but awesome game. Iron Lung, this one is purely based off of a playthrough I watched. Because if you know Iron Lung, you've probably seen the same video or a similar video. This is not a long game by any means. It's more of a story it's trying to tell. The concept is that you're in this tiny submarine and it's just you, and you're going through this like deep underwater stuff. And you can't look outside. You're just looking at a map. And through an ocean of blood on an alien moon. I forgot that part. But yeah, it's a horror game. It's a cool concept. It is. Maybe even bump it up to a 3.5. Because it is pretty, it is effective for what it is. Yeah, sure, I'll bump it up to a 3.5. But check it out. You don't need to buy this game. I wonder, how much is it on Steam? Yeah, $8. No, you don't need to do all that. But still, really fun concept and effective. It Takes Two. Played this with one of my friends. We had a fantastic time. Played it for maybe 5 hours, and then you do need a second person to play this game, and For some reason, one of us couldn't play it anymore. But man, what we did play, we had so much fun. When was this? 2021? This is probably my game of the year, 2021. I wish we could go back and beat it, but Split Fiction is coming out this year, and that'll be really, really fun. I'll probably play that with one of my friends. Jak and Daxter. This is a childhood game. Played it a lot as a kid. Even as a kid, I don't think I got very far, but I remember playing a lot of it. I can't really rate it. If I had to rate it based on my childhood experience, either a 3 or 3.5 or a 4, which is what they say as well. But it's on my backlog. I do want to do a Jak and Daxter marathon, including Daxter. I don't know if I want to do Lost Frontiers because it has a PS2 port, but it is a native PSP game. Maybe I will. I don't know. I'll see how much I like 1 through 3 before I decide on all that. I'm not going to play combat racing. Jet Set Radio. I mean, it's fun. It's a simple game, I will admit, and I did get tired of it after maybe 5 hours of just dicking around and doing cool tricks. I want to play Jet Set Radio Future. I do have it. It just looks smoother. The physics in general look better in Jet Set Radio Future. And aren't they making a what's Typing Jet? Japanese, okay. But yeah, 4.3. Yeah, I'm sure this is a much better game. But as a concept, as a foundational concept, Jet Set Radio is really, really cool. Would I bump it down to a 3.5? I don't know. This game is really fun, and it has a super sick art style, great music. The gameplay is simple, though. I'll keep it there. I'll keep it there. I'll be kind. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure: Eyes of Heaven. This is a arena brawler where you and I think 2 other characters fight another team of 3. I played it on PS4. This game is stupid fun. Like, it's not deep. It's not trying to be some profound piece of art. It knows what it wants to be, and I think it did it pretty well. I give it like half a star higher than average. I think that's fair. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Are there better JoJo's games? There is All-Star Battle Royale, whatever it's called, the other JoJo's game. I haven't played it though, but still, fun game. Journey, look, the game's pretty. Yes, it is very pretty, but it is kind of boring. So I have beaten this. I mean, you know what Journey is. If you really fall for the just how pretty it is and you really like that, sure, fine enough. It was not enough to convince me this game's like incredible, but it was cool. It was fine. 3.5. What does this dude say? Happy to have experienced it at least once. It sounds like you're blowing bubbles on it and you give it a 3. Okay. Just Cause. I've not played the first one, but Just Cause 2, man, I don't know if y'all can relate. The PS3 demo of Just Cause 2 or the 360 demo, I must have played that 40 times. And it was just, you know, you have 30 minutes to do whatever you want. You spawn in at the same location, do whatever you want in 30 minutes. And there's a mission also you can do. But man, I just did so much other. I just dicked around because the grappling hook was so cool. Just jumping out of a helicopter from super high and diving down to the ground. I thought that was awesome. And then I got the full game, beat the full game, and just had a blast, dude. This game is so much fun. It gets a 4.5. If we're being a little more objective, it's probably a 4. But man, as a kid, this game's awesome. Next is Just Cause 3. Loved Just Cause 3. The wingsuit is so sick. The environment, the playground they give you is so awesome. There's so much to do. So many more inventive ways than Just Cause 2, even though Just Cause 2 was... I feel Just Cause 2 was a little more chaotic than Just Cause 3. But fantastic game. Fantastic action sandbox game. Just Cause 4, you notice, takes a huge dip. And wow, right on cue with the community. My biggest issue with Just Cause 4 was the environment. They try to tease you and promise you that, oh, well, we have this huge weather overhaul and there's gonna be tornadoes. You can fly around the tornado. It's like, that's cool, I guess, but where's the verticality? There's no verticality in this game. And that's what 3 and 2 does, especially 2, I think, does really well. So I bounced off this probably after 4 hours. I didn't enjoy it at all. And it's not because I'm like older, this concept's gotten stale. I bet if I went back and played 3 and 2, I'd have just as much fun as I did back then. This game just, I don't know, it felt bland and it just wasn't fun. Justice League Heroes. This is a, what would you call these kind of games? Like X-Men, oh god, what are they called? The X-Men Apocalypse? X-Men Legends. The X-Men Legends series, you know, these top-down action games. I guess you could call them like a type of ARPG, but this is definitely a childhood pick. I haven't played it since I was a kid. I remember loving it though, just being able to play all these different superheroes, because I watched the Justice League show as a kid and being able to play them was awesome. I kind of want to play this again. I bet if I told my friends, they'd be down for it. So TBD on Justice League Heroes. Katamari Damacy, I mean, super simple concept. It's a very relaxing game from what I remember. I don't think I'm missing or I'm off the mark on that, but you know what it is. Incredible music, simple concept, really fun, awesome game. Oh dude, Katana Zero. 4 may be a little low. I may have to go to 4.5. It's a 2D action game where, again, it's super fast paced, put on some fantastic soundtrack, and it's all about timing. It's a timing based game, and there's different endings based on the choices you make. And yeah, there are choices, but they don't, again, you get different endings, and then there is a secret boss, but yeah, and you can parry bullets, and but you have to be really precise about it. Super fun game. Yeah, do that. Kingdom Come Deliverance. This is what I'm playing right now. Now, I should mention there's 3 games I'm currently playing. I'll just go ahead and show them. Well, this says 5. Sly Cooper and Metaphor have really been put on the back burner. But Indiana Jones. Okay, right now I'm primarily playing first Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, because I'm about to finish its marathon. I'm about to beat all the Metal Gears in the main line. And second is Kingdom Come Deliverance. This is my second game right now in rotation. And then third being Indiana Jones. Once I beat these 2, I'll beat Indiana Jones, and then I'll play these 2 concurrently. That's the plan. But Kingdom Come Deliverance, this game right now is really impressing me. I'm only about 11 hours in, so I'm still pretty early. But from what I've played, I really like this game. I like the dedication to realism it has. I like the fact that you're an absolute bitch in the beginning, because when you fight someone one-on-one, sure, you will beat them if they're a nobody. But the first 1 versus 2 fight I went up against, and one of them was a simple bandit. He wasn't anything special. The other one was like an advanced bandit who had a really cool weapon and better armor. I got my shit kicked in that 1v2. I eventually had to settle for sneaking up on them at night, choking out the really tough one, and then just beating the bandit. Like, this game will make you resort to bitch made mode, or bitch made tactics, until you get a really better gear. But yeah, I'm having a ton of fun with this game right now. Right now it's at a 4. It could swing either way. I also like the story and the characters. You know what? I may bump this up right now to a 4.5. The characters are really good. I know their names. I know what their relationship is with each other. I know what their titles are. I don't forget, oh yeah, that's who this is. No, the characters rock. The story is simple right now. The basic revenge plot. But right now I'm doing, work for the lord of a castle, trying to figure out a murder. So this game's going fantastic right now. I've heard Deliverance 2 is even better. So if it is better than this, it will be a 5-star game. But I'm in no rush to play this once I beat this. I can wait. But yeah, fantastic game. Okay. Oh, I can see how long I've been recording. Okay, that's useful. Okay, Kingdom Hearts. So, Kingdom Hearts is my favorite series of all time, not by any objective measure, but this is kind of where it all started for me. No, this is the second series that really elevated it. The first one, I'll just say, is the Sly Cooper series. But I was playing both that series and this series pretty concurrently. So again, this is a very formative series for me. We will go in order except for 2. I'll talk about 2 last. The first Kingdom Hearts, yeah, played it as a kid, played it again in college. I'm thinking of starting another Kingdom Hearts trek soon, probably within the next year, just going through all of them. Because you'll notice this is not every game. There are 3 games I have not played, but all of them that I have played, I have beaten. Well, there's technically 4, but I don't count Melody of Memory. It's not even a Kingdom Hearts game, really. But yeah, Melody of Memory I've not played. I've not played Recoded. I've not played Dream Drop Distance, and I've not played 0.2, a Fragmentary Passage. I actually did play Kingdom Hearts X on my my iPod, I think. When did this come out? 2013? Yeah, maybe I had an iPhone then. No, I think it was an iPod. But yeah, those are the 3 I've not played. Recoded, Dream Drop, and 0.2. But the first one, dude, this game's still good today. It really is. Just, it is really, really carried by its concept. This first game, just going to different Disney worlds, interacting with the Disney characters. Donald and Goofy are awesome allies. Sora is fine enough as an MC in every game. You know, he's fine. He's serviceable. But this is definitely a more objective standard. This 4 out of 5. If it was subjective, it would be a 5. And if it was purely objective, it may be a 3.5. But you know what? I'll give it a 4.5. Yeah, this is the first one I played. This is the first Kingdom Hearts I played, and I thought this was it when I played it. I didn't think there were any more. Again, I was a total kid when I played this, so I just assumed there were no sequels. But I think at the time, 2 was already released, and Chain of Memories was not Rechain, but Chain. I don't know. Did Rechain come out before? No, Rechain came after. Yeah, that's what I thought. But oh, whoops. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts, super important game for me. We'll go to Rechain. I like Rechain. I like the whole card system. Now, sure, once you get enough cards and you get the right cards, you can really break this game with, because this game you can also stack cards by pressing triangle. It loads them up, and once you have 3 cards, depending on what 3 cards are loaded, you get different effects and different attacks. But I liked it. I couldn't tell you anything about the story. You're trapped in the castle. I remember that. And you face a lot of Organization 13 members. But yeah, I remember having a great time with this. I'm excited to go and play it again. Let's see, what next? 358 over 2 days. Beat this close to Halloween. I don't know exactly when I beat it. I know it was close to Halloween. Got this on my DS. It had to be close to launch, which is surprising. Because I had like no games on DS. But people will clown this game. I really, really like it. It is a full-on Kingdom Hearts game on the DS. And what was it? It's not inventory, but you had certain ability slots. Let me look it up. And you're essentially playing the Resident Evil 4 like inventory game with these different slots. No, not the movie. Yeah, it's a shame you can't play it on anything else except DS, because now it's just the movie. He says it's a remaster. Yeah, I guess you don't need the bottom screen, but oh well. I wish you would show it, but probably won't be able to show it. But yeah, this game really, really good. I remember now it does have the worst boss in the whole series. Oh my god, The boss is just flying around. I think it's on Peter Pan Land or something. Horrible boss. I remember that. That may have been the Halloween night, but still, I thought it was a great game. We'll go Birth by Sleep next. Yeah, we'll do Birth by Sleep. Birth by Sleep, I played this in 2019, I think, for the first time on PS4. I loved this game, dude. The combat is so solid. The story I remember being really, really good and just keep me engaged. And the fact you could play as the 3 characters and they all have their little quirks to them and their own different command decks. Oh, this is a fantastic Kingdom Hearts game. Great addition. Probably my second favorite or third favorite game in the series. What's next? Kingdom Hearts 3. Played this on launch. I steamrolled through this game. Of course, the combat is not as good as 2. I know that. It was still pretty floaty in this game, and the triangle like commands were more broken in this game than any other. You press triangle, you win any encounter. So I get that, but it was still fun, and there were some really, really cool boss fights in this game, and the worlds were really good. You know what, man? I'm bumping up to a 4. This is a great game. This is a really, 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 really good game. So, yeah, it's just still a great game in the franchise. Okay, we've talked about the others. All right, Kingdom Hearts 2 is my personal favorite game of all time. This is the most important game of all time for me. I probably played it when I was 7 or 8, because I remember going to my cousin's house, who I've never seen since then. I forgot who it was, but it was one of my cousins, and they had this game pulled up on their TV in the second floor of this, like, it was on a farm, but their house on the farm, second floor. He had this pulled up, and it was the beginning of the game, and I played it, and I'm like, wait, is this like is this a sequel? Is this the next game in the series? Like, yeah, dude, there's 2 of them. And I told my mom and dad. They immediately got it for me, and the rest was history, dude. This game, I've probably beaten this game, unironically, no exaggeration, 20 plus times. 18 of those times coming from as a kid. I've played it and beaten it twice since then. But I remember grinding on one of my save files just to get level 99 by just replaying the World Ends With You level. I have no idea if that's optimal, but that's what I did. I loved this game, dude. And yeah, this is like, everyone has that one game for them, and this is it. This is it for me. And then my second favorite game we'll get to in a while, but especially this one in particular, but that one as well, really cemented like, oh, this video games, I can get down with this. This is really cool. So yeah, that's Kingdom Hearts 2. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. This game sucks. I don't know why it's at a 3.7. I played it for maybe an hour, got confused. I don't know if they're playing with guides. I found a tad boring. Classic. This game, like, these games aren't hard. No Kirby game is difficult. Okay, you just fly to the top of the screen. But I'm trying to see Metroidvania. I don't remember that. Open-ended 2D Kirby game would have led to anything but something super boring. Yeah, I remember being boring. This dude comments on. Does this dude have every game? Has he played every game? No. 3 out of 5 on Pirate Yakuza. Okay, he's playing the Ratchet and Clanks. You can't disrespect this lineup, really. Damn, look at these badges. Okay, anyway. Yeah, I remember this game being super boring. I got lost or something, and I don't have a guide, so I gave up. I played it on Game Boy Advance. This is the only Kirby game I own, I think. But I'm not going back to it anytime soon. LA Noire. Dude. This game is so cool. The whole, like, being a detective, and the interrogation process was kind of hit or miss, because there are some times where you really can't tell, and I guess that's intended. But then there are the obvious ones where it's like, okay, you're obviously lying, but I don't know whether to say lie or doubt. Now, in the end, of course, it doesn't matter. The story chugs along even if you make every wrong decision. But the setting was super realized. I love the voice acting. The acting in general, like, because they had to do face capture. Fantastic game. Fantastic game. When I'll play it again, but I think it is due, because I haven't played this since high school. So I remember it very, very fondly. Lots of cool. Oh yeah, the collectibles are like old cars. You could go collect old cars. I remember that. Last Guardian, played this. I remember when I played this. I played this in 2022. Yeah, when I started law school. When I moved to Oklahoma to start law school, I didn't have internet for a while, so I just had my PS5 and I had this downloaded already, so I decided to give it a shot. And we'll talk about Eco and Shadow of the Colossus later. This game is a huge step down in my opinion. It was cool at first, being like, oh, he's like listening to me and he's reacting, but I don't know, it didn't hook me. I didn't play it that long, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, but not enough to rate it. Okay, Last of Us 1 and 2. We'll do with 1 first. I think 1 has some of the best storytelling in a game I've seen. Probably like stories in games. That's a wild thing to put on a top 10 because I've not played nearly enough games to warrant this, especially like RPGs. You'll notice I don't have a lot of classic RPGs in my backlog because I didn't play that as a kid. I'm kind of having to catch up with that now. But the relationship between Ellie and Joel is definitely like a top 5 relationship in gaming. The fact that it's like, Joel lost his kid and Ellie is entering the fold as kind of this I want to say makeshift kid, but she's replacing the child he lost, and it works. This is probably one of the best endings in gaming. Last of Us Part 1. I remember I enjoyed the combat. This has a ton of 5-star ratings. This is probably the biggest skew we've seen yet. But yeah, I remember the combat being solid. People gripe about the combat, like, oh, let's enter an arena with boxes thrown about, but that's also Gears of War, and I'm sure you're glazing Gears of War, so you can still have fun with that concept, and this game does. This has one of the best crafting systems in gaming, by the way. Super simple. You find stuff and you can actually convert it into useful material and useful items that you're using all the time. So yeah, I really applaud the crafting system. This game's really, really good. Why is it not a 5? It's a good question. That's a good question. Is the first Last of Us a 5 out of 5? Maybe. If I played it again, would I give it a 5 out of 5? Man. Sure. It does so much right. It's a truly special video game. Yeah, I'll bump it up to a 5. Part 2, I'm giving a 4. Part 2, but not for one decision, would have been a 5-star game. And it's the whole second half of the game. Spoiler alert for Last of Us Part 2, skip ahead like a minute or two. Playing as Abby for the whole second half through events I've already played through and seen as Ellie. Now, the raid on the village as Abby, that part was sick. That was awesome. But man, it's like you're taking me out of this narrative from Ellie's perspective and putting me in the Abby, and I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to humanize the other side. I get that. But man, it really took me out of it. And then you switch back to Ellie for a really, really good final mission and a final act. But that Abby playthrough, again, really heavily skewed, by the way. Really skewed. I will play 1 and 2 again because I think 3 just got announced. Am I tripping? Oh, no, no, it has not been announced. Never mind. I do want to play these again though, especially part 2, because I love the combat in this game. The combat in this game is visceral, it's mean, it's rude, it's realistic. And again, the whole like revenge plot, I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed Ellie becoming this like heartless murderer. I won't say more than that in case you've for some reason not been spoiled on this game. But yeah, I think it's still a fantastic game. Maybe a 4.5. I don't know. Dude, that whole second half, you're like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? So I'll keep it at a 4 out of 5. What are we at? 50 minutes? Okay. I may end. Let's say we'll save Mario for next episode because my hottest take is about to come. Layers of Fear, super simple horror game. I don't remember it being very scary though. I didn't play a lot of it, I will admit. I haven't rated it, but I don't remember it being that good. League of Legends, this may be that's funny. This may be like a really high, you'll notice it's pretty level aside from the half-star ratings. I played this only like one real period, which was a little bit in college. I thought it was really, really fun. I thought it was really, really deep. I enjoyed the complexity of each character and the fact that I got destroyed every game. But I really, it's a game that you want to get better at. And I never was able to, but I can still recognize it's a really good game. I think it's good. I think it's well made. Now, veterans will tell you, no, it's trash because this, and this. I don't care. I had fun with it. So 3.5 out of 5. Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. What can you say? Some of the best co-op games of all time. Super fun. Even solo. I played a lot of Left 4 Dead 2 solo, and it's really fun. Now, Left 4 Dead, I'm fronting here. I have not played Left 4 Dead. I've not beaten Left 4 Dead. So I haven't played it. So yeah, I'm not even gonna try to front on Left 4 Dead. But Left 4 Dead 2, I have played a lot of Left 4 Dead 2, both solo and co-op. So much fun co-op. It can get infuriating, but fantastic game. It's fast, it's enjoyable. You never feel like you're bored playing this game. One of the best co-op games of all time. Let's make sure that updated. Yeah, okay. Okay, the Zeldas. This is where, man, I may have to stop the video after Zelda. Yeah, we'll stop after Zelda, and then we'll go into Legos, because this is where my hottest take resides, is in one of these Zelda games. And you can probably guess what it is. Link Between Worlds. This is the 3DS game. I beat this God knows how long ago, but I remember having a lot of fun with it. This is the game where you don't own your equipment. You loan it, like you can buy equipment from the vendor. And I liked that because it gave you a choice of which dungeon you wanted to go to first. Yeah, the gameplay's solid. The whole like sticking to the wall mechanic was really, really fun. There's some really cool puzzles. I'm sure there were boss fights that implemented it as well. I don't remember them. I remember there being really cool puzzles with it. But yeah, really, really solid Zelda game. I would maybe put it higher, but again, it's been long enough. I can't justify changing the rating. Maybe play it again sometime in the future. Link to the Past. This is a childhood game because we had an SNES when I was a kid. My dad had one when he was younger. We had this game. This is one of the games we had. I probably could give it a rating, but it has been a long time again since I was probably 6 years old since I've played it. Yeah, I can't say much about it, but I'm sure this game is really good. We'll skip that one. Ocarina of Time. Played this in 2017. This is when I got my first retro bug. well, I should say one of my first retro binge was in 2017 in high school. I sold a lot of my, this was bad. This is when I sold a lot of my games like Animaniacs, and I would buy other games, but I'm kind of glad I did it because I got to experience games like Ocarina of Time, like GoldenEye. The first console I invested in was the N64 because my cousin had one, and we played a couple games on that. But man, Ocarina of Time, I played it in 2017. It held up fantastic. It held up really, really well when I played it. I was like, damn, this game could like pass if you just updated the graphics. This could pass for a modern day game. And I guess that's true with, you know, the 3DS version, if you want to call that updated, to the point where I'm talking about. But no, Ocarina of Time rocks. Fantastic game. Really, 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 really cool open world. The combat is simple, sure, but the dungeons were really cool. And yeah, the environments, the environments are really sells this game. Just traveling to each one, seeing what it has to offer. But yeah, 4.5 out of 5. Why do I not give it a 5 out of 5? I don't know. It just doesn't have that sauce for me. Now, if I was young, now if I played this in 1998, 1999, sure, I'd probably give it a 5 out of 5. I've never seen anything like it. The same would be true for Metal Gear Solid, which we'll talk about next episode. But 2017, I still have a lot of respect for this game. I know what it did, but I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. Skyward Sword. I played this on the Wii. I can't remember when. I didn't get super far in it, but from what I remember, it was pretty fun. I know 2 of my friends have played it recently. They say it sucks. Fair enough, it may, but from what I remember, I think a 7 is adequate. I think I liked, of course, people will comment about how it's not super accurate. I don't remember having too many issues with that as a kid. I do need to play it again, though. Talk about that later. The original Legend of this is a pretty hot take, I guess. The original Legend of Zelda, dude, listen, the game is ancient. It's almost 40 years old. If you play it today, it's fine. It is a fine, you know, 2 is pretty low. Let's give it like at least a 2.5. It's fine. Now, one thing I didn't beat this game. I got to the final dungeon and just kept getting my ass kicked by the final dungeon. And then after that, I looked up a guide to get all the gear, the best gear, and I still got my ass kicked. I don't know, like I've beaten lots of hard games. For some reason, this one did it for me. I just couldn't do it. I could not beat this game. I just gave up after a while because I'm like, dude, this game's fine to begin with. And I almost beat it, but go and play Legend of Zelda today and tell me like a 2.5 is not within the realm of like reasonableness. If you're giving this a 5 or even a 4, like a 4 or above, you're like 70. Okay, Minish Cap. Played this on Game Boy Advance, probably in close to the end of my college career, like 2020, 2021. I remember this being an awesome top-down Zelda. I like the fact it's not really a huge mechanic. The fact you can shrink down to the whatever the small people are called. It's not really a huge mechanic, but it was cute seeing, oh, this is like the plant world, and you can, the whole theme is a plant, and there was the sky. Oh, there was the sky level. I remember that dungeon being really, really cool, where you get the jump ability and you can glide over. There's a lot of cool puzzles in that level. But yeah, I remember having a really good time with this game. Got it for a great price too. I originally bought this game in 2019. I didn't play it until much later, but I got it, a original genuine copy. I've opened it up, plus my Game Boy Advance, which I still use today. I got them both for $70 combined. Great deal. Let's see, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. So Wind Waker, played it a lot as a kid, loved it, never beat it. And I think it's because I got stuck at one point. There was like some, I don't know, I don't remember, but I never beat it. I know that. There was something you had to do, and of course I didn't have a guide at the time, so I never actually beat this game. I want to go back and beat it. I have it on GameCube. So again, Zelda games, I may go back and play some of these Zelda games to make sure they're as good as I remember. but from what I remember, I played this game a lot as a kid. I see it today, I think I would still give it like a 4.5 out of 5, because again, these dungeons were really, really cool. And the same can be said for Twilight Princess. As of right now, this is either my favorite or second favorite Zelda game, behind Wind Waker and Ocarina. But this game has some awesome dungeons. When I was a kid, I got this when I was a kid. I know that, probably like a year after launch. But the dungeons are so sick. There's so many cool there's so much cool equipment. Yeah, there's so much cool equipment in this game. The stories, whatever. I thought the wolf sections were super sick. Sure, it's not like Zelda gameplay at all, but it was fun becoming a wolf. The bosses are really cool. God, I remember I played, because you had the save file. I played the final boss against Ganondorf so many times as a kid. That's such a sick final boss fight. Especially the part, like the ending, where you do a double front flip and just stab the sword through his chest. Or just a single front flip, maybe. But yeah, this game, a lot of good memories of this game as a kid. If being a bit subjective, maybe a little higher. I don't know, maybe I would give it a 4 out of 5, but it's been so long, so I'll keep it at that. Okay. My final 2 for this video. I want to talk about this one first, but you kind of have to talk about Breath of the Wild first. Dude, I think Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is the most overrated video game of all time. I got it. We got my Switch at launch. It was a graduation gift. We paid like $400 for it because it was scalped really bad at the time. I got this, and I got Breath of the Wild like everyone else. I played it, and like it was fine. It was fine, and I beat it. I've beaten this game, and I tried going back and playing it in college. I couldn't beat it then. Okay, I need to really structure my thoughts, because I know a 3 out of 5 for Breath of the Wild is sacrilege. But what do people say Breath of the Wild's biggest strength is? It's open world, and the fact you can just walk anywhere, and there's something, you'll find something. But what are you finding in these games? Some little temple that has a boring puzzle, and you beat it, and you're like, oh, okay, now if I do 4 more of those boring puzzles, I can upgrade my health by 1, or I can upgrade my stamina a little bit more. Like, okay, that's pretty boring. What about its combat? Me personally, I don't like the durability system, in particular how fast everything breaks. I don't mind there being a durability system, but from what I remember, you can't even repair your own weapons. You have to throw away your weapons, so you're never going to find a weapon you really like. There's no point in finding a weapon you really like, because it'll just break after 5 minutes of gameplay. It'll break. Now once you get the sword and the Hylian shield, that's fine. I will admit that this game has shield surfing. That shit rocks. That's incredible. That's the most fun I had in this game, was shield surfing. The combat's okay, and people say, oh, but it has these magic moments where it feels like you're interacting with the world. How many moments do you really think there are in this game that you experience like that? Maybe 1 or 2. But every other fight, you're going in normal. You're having a normal sword fight. Very rarely are you trying to do something creative. And I know this because the second time I played this, the first time I played it, I was like, okay, that game was pretty mid. The second time, I really tried to put my mindset into the, okay, I'm going to explore everything this game has to offer. I'm going to enjoy running in this open world, because you can't get on your horse. The moment you have to get off your horse and go somewhere else, you're done. You have to walk or run the whole way because you can't summon your horse. So I'm like, okay, I did cooking, I did all this stuff to make sure, like, I was really kind of role playing, and like, man, this is what it'd be like to survive in this open world. And it was just boring. It was so boring. And so I quit. I couldn't beat it a second time. But this game has its moments, sure. Definitely not the dungeons. Those moments aren't cool. Hyrule Castle is cool. That's a really cool moment. The ending, or whatever you decide the ending is. And of course, yes, I like the fact you can just go to the ending if you want to. That's fine. That's cool. But come on, let's be really serious when we talk about Legend of Zelda. For some reason, this game is the game review critics chose to be the poster child of modern day gaming, and everyone has just kind of gone along with it. I am curious how many people say this is the best game of all time or their favorite game of all time, and they haven't beaten it. I'm genuinely curious. I bet it's a pretty big amount. But yeah, I'll stop it there with Breath of the Wild. Again, I think it's a fine game. It is fine. But man, it is the most overrated game of all time. Not even close. And there are some other overrated games. I think God of War 2018 is overrated. It comes nowhere close to this. So yeah, that's my Breath of the Wild thoughts on Breath of the Wild. Will I try it again? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I feel pretty confident in this 3. Yeah, I'm not moving to 3. I'm definitely not moving it down. It's not a 2.5 out of 5. 3.5? I don't know. I didn't beat it the second time. I didn't even come close to beating it. Tears of the Kingdom, I gave it a 3.5. I think it is slightly better than Breath of the Wild. And you notice, the cries of praise were not nearly as loud for Tears of the Kingdom as they were for Breath of the Wild. Not nearly as loud, even though I think it's objectively a better video game. The mechanic where you can kind of build your own shit with the Omni Hand or whatever you want to call it, that may actually be what it's called. I thought that mechanic was so cool. Making your own contraptions and the whole energy system. Again, that's really, really cool, but the core gameplay is still very similar to the original. It's fun to reverse time and, you know, go up to these island worlds, and, you know, that's fun. I mean, dude, it is so much better than Breath of the Wild. It really is. It innovated so much more. There's enough innovation in this game. It is super lame that it's the same map. That is super lame. And people will say, oh, but there's the above world and there's the depths. Yeah, the depths suck. I went to the depths. I've been there. I've been in those streets. It sucks. And the island worlds, sure, they're cool, but I know people will get mad when I say this. The game runs like crap. People will say, oh, but it looks so good, and it's impressive that it runs on it at all. Cool. It still looks like crap and it runs like crap. It's blurry. There's like no anti-aliasing at all in this game. I will play through a lot of the Switch games I have played on the Switch too, in hopes that I get 60 frames per second, because I cannot do 30 frames on consoles. I cannot do it. So again, I think this game made so many good innovations on Breath of the Wild. Again, it's like it's leagues better, but it's only half a star higher, and I think that's true because the core gameplay is still the same, and the world is still just as empty and boring. And it's like, people will get mad at that and say, what do you mean it's empty and boring? There's shrines and there's like goblin camps. And it's like, okay, cool, but you just go in and you kill everything in the goblin camp, and that's it. There's not anything waiting for you there, except a cool weapon that breaks in 10 hits, you know? So again, Tears of the Kingdom is a better game, and it's fine. It's a fine game. I didn't beat it. I didn't beat it because I knew I played this in Japan. I bought it right before leaving for Japan that summer. And I was like, man, I'm gonna play this, and I bet it's gonna be so much better. These mechanics look so cool. I maybe played 11 hours. I didn't beat it, and I still think it's better than Breath of the Wild, by a long shot. So, okay, that's my rant on Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So we'll end it there. I know I had some like that take a 3 out of 5 for Breath of the Wild, and Hollow Knight. And again, Hollow Knight I may have been a little harsh on, but when I can't get more than 4 hours in, like, it's hard to defend that. Where is it? Yeah, 2.5. Okay, so we'll end it there. We'll start with the Lego series next. See you next episode.